Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing The Crew 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today it's time to get into Gator Rush. Let's get to it. The September update is now live, and if you have the Season Pass, Gator Rush and the September vehicles are all available now. What does that mean? You have hovercraft now, and that is in the off-road discipline. So what you're going to do is right when you log in, you're going to go over to the off-road discipline right there in the bottom middle and pick up a hovercraft. Now, one of the September vehicles is the hovercraft, so you will start off with one, but if you want to look at what is available and what the performance levels are at, you can go check it out. Now, you will need to be at star level in order to unlock hovercraft racing. So as of this posting, there are 4 different hovercraft that you can choose from. Now that does include the one that you get with the September update. So they go all the way up to performance of 80. The top end starts at 51, so you're actually relatively close to the top end, over halfway. And once you get the hovercraft that you want, you can always give it a new paint job, a new livery. So how do the hovercraft perform? Well, they're like putting a turkey on an ice skating rink. Okay, maybe not that bad, but there is a lot of play in the turns, and if you overturn, you will spin out and lose, well, not necessarily spin out, but you'll lose a lot of momentum. And the races are a lot different because bumping other hovercraft will not help you at all. You need to avoid the hovercraft if at all possible. It will take a little getting used to the turns with the hovercraft. So with the hovercraft, you kind of want to have as much of a straight line as possible, and as a result, the racing is going to have a lot of tight turns in it, or tighter turns, I should say. So without using any nitrous in the first, I want to say, half of the race, it's looks really bad. But you can always come from behind. There is some rubber banding that is present, as you would expect. So it's a different way to look at racing, and it is, handling wise, it is a little similar to the rally raid cars, the off-road cars, where you feel like there's a lot of play in the turns, and the big difference though is bumping other vehicles where if you hit them from behind, you end up slowing yourself down and speeding up your competition. So you don't want to bump other vehicles from behind. If you were going to bump them at all, you want to bump them from the side. But I think it will be fun, especially playing with your friends. There's going to be a whole lot of bumper cars going on with this race mode, I think. So check it out. See what you think. One little tip is to use the nitrous in the turns, which will help you straighten out a little bit faster. So instead of using nitrous for overall speed, use it in the turns to help straighten the hovercraft out. And if you have extra nitrous because you are a high enough icon point rank that you are getting nitrous back, and you spec'd into getting your nitrous back in overall, or you get extra power and nitrous, etc., then you can use the nitrous to boost your speed in the straightaways. But I would reserve some for the turns so that you can get out of the turn and get back into forward momentum again. Well, also with this update, you have Ace mode, or Ace difficulty mode. And going hand in hand with that, legendary performance parts. So gold or yellow parts and Ace mode. Ace mode does recommend the maxed out tier. So if your car can max out at 280, it's going to recommend 280 for the event on Ace difficulty. Now what about the event itself? Using Ace difficulty will make the event more difficult because the other cars are going to be at or near max performance. So they will be running at 280 or close to 280. So do you have to run a perfect race? No, you don't have to run a perfect race. But you will want to run a good race, and you'll want to know the track well. So you need to have track knowledge. You need to know where the turns are at and how to take the turns, and you need to have a car that's spec'd out to the maximum level so that you stand a chance against the other cars. You don't want to be in the back of the pack at all, and when you are, you don't want to be there for very long. I think at most I had about an 8-second lead on the competition. So the competition is fairly stiff, excuse me, and it will be a challenge. It is designed to be more of a challenge than other game modes. Hard difficulty is knowing kind of what's going on with the track, but not having a maxed spec'd out car. Regular mode or normal mode is getting to learn the track and knowing where the turns are at. And then Ace mode is having a good knowledge of the track and how to take the turns, and having a good spec on your car, having it maxed out so you have that max speed and acceleration and everything that you need in order to get the best time. Now, depending on where you put your icon points, it will either make the track easier or not make it quite as difficult, depending on where you have it spec'd. Now, when I played, I had to play several races, and I think I figured out that the gold legendary parts drop at between 5 to 10% drop rate. Now, I do have rarity spec'd on this car so that I had extra drop chance, about 12%. And the golds are worth getting. There are 5 different sets, and you have set bonuses. So if you have the season pass, go ahead and check out Gator Rush and see what you think. It feels like a large update, even though they only added a few things. What they added kind of added to the overall game experience instead of to just 1 or 2 avenues, like adding 2 cars. Adding 2 cars doesn't really add a whole lot to your experience. Adding 10 activities and a new difficulty level and a new tier of gear feels like a bigger update than what it actually is. So it feels like it is a huge improvement or a huge addition. Well, make sure you to ring the bell before you leave to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Is that yellow loot? Yellow loot's a mechanic's dream. Every part gives you the usual stuff, but if you collect a set of 7 specific pieces, you get a super cool new bonus. There are 5 sets with 5 different bonuses, but you can only use one. Drops are random, so it may take time, but wow, is it worth it!